Morning, Kim.
Good morning, Amanda.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Yourself?
Pretty good.
Awesome.
Mhm.
I am glad to be here.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're having a little coffee talk this morning
Yep.
with you.
This is our first one.
So welcome.
Mhm.
I'm Kim Carley, Executive Director of We Are Hope.
And I'm Amanda LaRoche, Employment Services Coordinator at We Are Hope.
Yeah, we're happy to have you here today.
Mhm.
So we've been talking about doing this for a while and we just keep putting it off because it's something different for us.
Mhm.
And so bottom line, we were like, what should we talk about? And kind of decided that the best thing to talk about would be change
Mhm.
because we apparently don't want to do it. And
Who does though?
Nobody likes change, right? It just kind of makes me
Yeah.
cringe a little,
We
right?
really like just kind of doing our daily thing and, come to work, going home.
Yep, comfort zone, right?
Comfort
You don't
zone.
have to learn anything new, do anything new. It's just what we know.
Yeah. But how boring
So,
would that be?
Yeah,
It would
very,
get pretty boring.
very much so. So, of course, when you think about change, the first thing I think that comes to everybody's mind, unfortunately, is COVID
Mhm.
and the changes that that brought. So, I know for myself personally, biggest change for me, okay, it's not the biggest, but let's say most noticeable besides the mask is I'm an 80s girl. Totally an 80s girl. So not wearing big earrings because I was sick of ripping them out of my ear. when
Yeah.
I took a mask on and off.
Right.
Yeah,
I didn't have that problem because I don't wear big earrings like you, but
I don't either.
not anymore. But you put on makeup every day, and if you're wearing a mask, well, what's the point, right? So
Yeah.
that kind of changed too.
Yeah.
Can't tell you how many weeks I went.
Less time to get ready in the morning.
That is
It's
true.
a good change.
That is a good change. You're right.
Yeah. You
Yep.
know, and let's face it, COVID has changed our greeting styles.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of people, it's the hugging and the handshakes and,
Mhm.
just like some sort of physical contact, everybody kind of steps back from that. So, then you got to rely on the verbal stuff or face, make sure that your face is expressive.
Yeah, right. And how many years did we have, meeting new people? You shake their hand.
Yep.
That was shoved down my throat as a kid growing up. So
Yep.
that's a hard change.
It
It's
is.
a really hard
It is.
change.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. And, let's also think like it's made us cleaner.
That's
Right?
for sure.
So we're always washing our hands. We're using hand sanitizer when you walk in somewhere, when you walk out of somewhere, when you get in your car,
Mhm.
whatever, it's everywhere. And it's a good thing because ultimately it should mean that we're healthier, right?
Yeah, it should.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But another thing too, like health wise, COVID shed a light on mental health
Oh.
issues.
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah, it was hard for everybody, really.
Mhm.
Moms, workers,
Kids.
dads, kids. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really affected everybody and kind of an eye opener for a lot of things. I
Yep.
think.
And
Mhm.
honestly, that's something that will affect us for quite some time, even as it is just related to COVID.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's big change there,
Yeah.
Another thing that changed is the way we shop.
Oh, I am not unhappy about that change. I love
neither.
online curbside pickup.
And the excitement of waiting for that package to come to the door.
Yes. I can't tell you how many really times that I ordered Amazon last year in quarantine and I'd get a surprise package in the mail. What did I order? Because I forgot.
Yeah, because they'd all come in separate packages.
And late, right? Remember how long it was taking for a while?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
And let's kind of get down to the point of what we do as an organization. COVID has changed the way that we work.
Mhm.
A lot of us had to work remotely, and now we have the capabilities of working a little bit more remotely than we did in the past.
Yep.
Even those who were retired and didn't work had to learn technology
Yeah. It's a huge
so that they
learning
could
curve.
communicate, right? So, but was any of that a bad thing?
It really wasn't, because
Mm-mm.
I think that shed a lot of light on Door County and the areas that we need work on.
Absolutely.
Internet availability,
Yeah.
you know, all of that.
And even pre-COVID, we knew that that was an issue. Internet is not accessible countywide. And overnight, it became an absolute necessity for everybody,
Absolutely.
you know, and a reliable internet, you know, I mean,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
just, you know, a tough thing. So, you know, a lot of changes
Mhm.
just related to COVID, right? But, you know, we find that with any changes, many of us, instead of being proactive about them, are just reactive.
Yes.
So we tend to then react to the circumstances. And even though everything is constantly changing, we can never get ahead of that because we're
Mhm.
just reacting to what just happened.
Right.
Sometimes you can't control that. We didn't know from one day to the next what was going to happen with COVID. You're closed, you can open, you can do,
Yep.
you can't do this after you could do this. And
I
you
remember
know.
being peeled to the TV in there, just waiting to find out, what are we supposed
Yeah.
to do?
Yep.
What's coming next?
Watching those new press conferences
Yep.
and whatnot. So, you know, so really COVID has put us in a place of constant change,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
so.
It's never
and-
ending. Still, even what, a year and a half
Right,
after,
right.
things are still changing.
You still have, do we get a booster shot? Do we not get a booster shot? You know,
Mask, or don't mask, and Mhm.
Yeah, the list just goes on and on.
Yeah,
But, you know, many were forced into unemployment
yeah,
too at the
absolutely.
beginning of the pandemic.
I know last year was the first time in my entire life I ever had to file unemployment, and it was weird.
Mhm.
It felt really weird being home. What do I do with myself?
Yep. Yeah, for sure. And not only that, but so maybe, so you're unemployed, but your kids couldn't go to school either.
Right.
So, you know.
So you gotta be a homeschool teacher and work a little, or,
Right.
you know,
Right.
or not, because there's no work for you.
Right. And I think, and that's a whole nother matter, right?
Mhm.
So you could still work part-time remotely,
Mhm.
maybe, but could you really work? Because you had, you know, kids
Right.
running around and schooling that you had to be
Yeah.
like, get her done, right? So
Yeah.
the fight.
When
the
you
fight.
think about those parents who had jobs, you know, and had to leave during the day for their own sanity,
Right.
every day was change for them. Go to work one day, and then maybe I get a call from the school and I got to go pick up my kid. We're out for the next 2 weeks. I'm
Yeah.
quarantined. So every day.
Yeah. And it still happens. And, you know, and as it should, you know, we all need to be safe.
Mhm.
And this isn't, it's not over, unfortunately. And, you know, everybody always says, well, this is the new normal. And I like to think of it as, no, change, constant change is our new normal.
Yeah, that's a really great point.
You know, it might not always be related to COVID anymore, but, or it might be in some fashion.
Mhm.
The warehouses are empty. They can't get more supplies, whatever, I don't know.
Mhm.
But, you know, so, you know, that's like everyday stuff, which of course we've experienced right along with the rest of you. But when it comes to us as an organization, we were no different. You know, we were mandated to close, but we wanted to make sure that we could keep answering our phones so that we could guide people through like the unemployment process, or, you know, if they could even get through to the unemployment process.
Yeah.
So-
I don't forget that part.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so basically just being supportive of people who needed it, you know, at the time. And we just could do the best that we could. And then when we reopened our doors, we didn't really open our doors. They were still locked. We had to talk to them through the door and find out if they were healthy, make sure that they were masked, and, you know, before we even let them in. And then, you know, just in 2021, we have changed our hours 3 times, you
Yeah.
know, and that's a big deal for a community service.
Mhm.
How do you let people know when you're available?
Right.
But we had to change with everything that's going on,
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
So,
Yep.
so the point is, just like everyday life, the need for our services to change.
Mhm.
has happened too. So I found this really great quote when I was thinking about our conversation
Mhm.
from somebody, his name, I've never heard of him before, but then I was like, well, who is this guy before I quote him? And I think I'll have to look into him.
Mhm.
His name is Nathaniel Braden. And he says the first step toward change is awareness. The second step is acceptance.
Mhm.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, that's
It
so
seems
true.
sort of like a simple thing, like we should know it, but then
Mhm.
I don't know, when I read it, I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
So we were aware that
Mhm.
we were going to be seeing changes every day, but we wanted to make sure that we were here for the community. So just did whatever. But it took us a while, like until almost now, to accept that that change meant that our services or the way that we provided our services
Right.
needed to change.
Yeah.
Accepted it, guys.
We've accepted it and
So
things are going to start happening.
they are.
Yeah.
We're excited. But before those changes can fully realize those changes, we need your input. So we have a survey that we've already opened up, and we've gratefully got some responses so that you can tell us what services we need to provide or how we need to provide those services. So we actually have two surveys. One is for employers, and it's called the Employer Services Survey. And one survey that we have is for community members called the Employment Resource Survey. So we're just asking everybody to take a moment to fill that survey out. You can find it on our website at www.wearehopeinc.org. I'm sure I'll put that somewhere on the screen. And it's right there on the homepage. Click the link. Maybe you are an employer, but you also need employment resources. Do them both. So we need that input so that we know what direction to go. We kind of know what we want to do in the direction we want to go, but it doesn't matter. We can do whatever we want, right? But if you don't need it, what good is it going to be?
Right.
So
yeah. So information from the community employers is going to be really a really important part of our changes, right?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. So another quote that I found that I absolutely love, and I'm going to end up putting this one for sure in my office, is from Alan Watts. And he said, the only way to make sense out of change is to plunge into it.
Wow, isn't that true?
Move with it and join the dance.
Mm-hmm.
So we want you to dance with us.
That sounds like fun.
I like to dance.
Yeah, me too.
So these changes that are happening, they can be exciting and energetic if you let them be. Yep. And We Are Hope is going to be going through many changes in the next few months. And we want your feedback so that you can help us gear us in the right direction. Mm-hmm. Our organization has been around for 43 years.
And it's a long time to be serving a community.
It sure is. Mm-hmm. And the only way that happened is because we changed.
Yeah.
You change with those needs, planned and unplanned. I do have to say that, of course, I haven't been here the entire 43, just a half of those, except for when the organization was conceived of, when it was, came about. That was based on a need. And so they went out and found money. Mm-hmm. After that, it was the money's here for this, so let's do this program. There's funding for this, so let's do this program. Mm-hmm. I think since our inception, we're in a place where right now we get to decide what are we going to do, mm-hmm. and then we're going to go find the money.
There we go.
And that puts us in a really unique place, but we need your help so that we can make the changes that you want and that you need, and not just do what we feel is
Right.
right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. So please give us your feedback. You can call us at 920-743-7273. You can ask for Amanda, or you can ask for Kim, and we'd be happy to get some insight from you. Certainly go and do those surveys online. They can be anonymous, but you can also put your contact information in there so that we can get in touch with you to maybe get a little bit more insight if you want to provide some other information. Or you can email us at info@wearehopeinc.org.
All right.
Again, I'm pretty sure I have information flying on this screen. So please give us some insight. Stay tuned for more opportunities to share some of that information that you want to share with us, and also to watch our changes in action.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they're happening.
They are. Yeah.
They started today.
They did start today.
They started before today. This is just a new change.
Yeah.
But join us next Wednesday, because we'll be here.
Yep.
We talk too much to drink coffee while we're talking.
But thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Kim, for sharing all about our changes and what's coming up. So
Yep, we'll be talking more about
Yep.
it for sure. So,
stay tuned, and we'll talk to you soon.
yep.
Have
Bye
a great
now.
Wednesday.